All right, everyone, welcome back. Episode 2, the Weight Loss War podcast. I guess the first thing I wanted to do every day is I wanted to start off with a quote. Um, Things that have helped me in my life, things that I found. Sometimes you need motivation, sometimes you don't. Um, but I thought it would be something fun to do to just share a quote every day, and then we can get into the meat of what we're discussing, what we're learning, um, and go from there. So, um, the first one I wanted to share is something I'd heard a couple of times, but never really paid attention to until it became necessary. It's from Henry Ford, and he said, "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right." And I think that's very applicable for us. It was applicable for me when I was starting to get into the weight loss weight loss mindset of keeping it off after my most recent most recent surgery. I've only had the one weight loss surgery after my surgery. And it was like you get to a point where you think you can or you think you can't. And it's true. If you think you can't, you're right. If you think you can, you're right. To give you a bit of a background on me, a little bit more than what I got into yesterday. I uh I went up. I've been trying to lose weight my entire life. I was in high school. I wasn't necessarily skinny or anything. I was about 165 and I'm 5'7", so I was a little chubby, maybe. Not overly so, but not skinny by any means. And then like I mentioned yesterday, I would go up and then I would lose a little bit and I'd go up and up and up. And after a long, uh, probably 14, 12 years of this, I found myself at 310 pounds. And um, I just kind of had given up. I was depressed. I'd gone through one of the hardest times I've ever been in my life, as a lot of you guys will know, and you just get to that point. Um, you want to be done. You don't care. I was turning to food for comfort. I was living by myself. I didn't have um, that big of a support system. I didn't have a lot of things that, um, you come to realize that as you are working on your journey, that they're really helpful. Um, and I got to be 310 pounds. And I remember sitting down, going home. It was September of 2018, and I was going to um it was Labor Day, I think. I was just down with my parents, and my dad's a doctor, and he came to me and he sat me down, and he wanted to run some blood tests, and I said, okay, sure, whatever. And then he came back and he said, Trevor, if you don't do something, you are going to die before I do. Um, I have, you know, family history of diabetes and heart problems, and that really shook me. He came and said, "Yeah, you are going to die before I will. I will end up burying my son if you don't do something." And um, then he really kind of said, "What you should do, you should have this weight loss surgery." And we went through the process, um and I mean, it was good. It helped, obviously. Set me on the path to truly trying to keep it off. But um it was not easy. It wasn't easy to convince me. Like, I didn't want to do it. Um, but I knew it would be a better I would have a better life if I did, obviously. Lose weight, try and get down. But does anyone want to spend $23,000 on a surgery? No, I did not. Um, but ultimately I decided I needed to do it. I needed to not be unhealthy. And then I had the surgery. And if you don't know, and I think it's different now, but when I had the surgery, they called me 2 weeks before and said, "All right, don't eat anything. You can only have liquid calories for the next 2 weeks." And then you have the surgery, and you have to let your stomach heal. You cut out 80% of your stomach, and you have to let your stomach heal. So I didn't eat food for 2 weeks, or 2 weeks after the surgery. And so at that point, and then you can only eat, so much at a time. You have to really, really be careful about what you eat. If you overate, it hurt. If you drink anything within 30 minutes of eating, it would hurt your stomach. It was hard. And that 4 weeks of, essentially Slim Fast and protein shakes was a nightmare. And I kept thinking I can't do it. And as you've probably all met someone who's had, gastric bypass or the gastric sleeve or anything, like, you can gain the weight back. Um, and I was at a point where I almost didn't care. And I hadn't even been able to start eating yet. Um, but but I was trying to, find a motivation for why I should do it, why I should really commit. And couple of the quotes I plan to share come to mind, but this one, by Henry Ford: "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right." Um, that one really impacted me, and I don't even remember when I came across it, but it it kind of gave me that little nudge you needed to find a reason, find something that, I don't know what the right way to say it, but some reason to actually follow through. Um, and then once I thought, okay, I guess I can do it, I can, um, then I had to think past it, you know. Um, it's not just losing weight. It's um not just that. I came to the realization I'd spent, you know, 40 plus thousand at the time on my weight loss journey, and I didn't want to waste that. And, didn't want to go through that again, um didn't want to waste that. And I had to really evaluate and go through what I wanted my life to be like, I guess. And um, I don't want to take up too much time today. I you know, want it to be a pretty quick um podcast every day. But that's something that we'll dive into was what did I consider? What are some things that helped me? And what do you do? How do you find something inside, not superficial, that's not that deep reason, that core reason that gives you motivation to fight, makes you want to go to war, that makes you want to uh, push forward. Um, because we all need that core thing, or else we will fall back into, previous patterns, and it will all be for naught. So it's kind of where I want to take this podcast. If resonate with that, leave me a comment or send me a message. You can email me. My email address is trevor@ultimatemedicalweightloss.com. I'd love to hear your comments. The goal of this is to help people, and help people realize that we're doing more than just trying to lose weight. We are trying to build a healthier lifestyle. We are trying to fight that war, to be healthy, to keep the weight off, to take control of our lives. And that's where we're headed. So join me next time. We will continue this discussion. We will kind of whatever we can learn about health, whatever we can learn about motivation, whatever we can do, that's where we're going to take this. So until next time, uh, you know, be strong, I guess. I don't know how to end these. But yeah, until next time, I will catch you again.